All right, so today we're diving into this really profound map for personal growth. And it comes from a place you would probably never expect. So let's get into it.
Hey, do you remember playing Snakes and Ladders? Come on, think back for a second. That feeling of rolling the dice, the pure joy of hitting a super long ladder, and then, oh my gosh, the absolute agony of landing on a snake and sliding all the way back down. We all just thought it was a simple game of luck, right? Well, what if there's way more to it? I mean, what if that simple little game board actually holds one of the most powerful maps for the human journey? That's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So yeah, this is way more than just a game. It's actually this ancient metaphor for that constant push and pull, the one that we all feel between our higher nature and our, let's say, lower instincts. And if you look at it this way, every single piece of the game suddenly has this deep, profound meaning. The ladders, those are those amazing moments of insight that just lift us up. The snakes, they're not just bad luck. Oh no, they represent that pull into our own shadow side. And the roll of the dice, that's our power of choice. Every single move we make becomes part of this beautiful, messy art of becoming.
Okay, so where is this game actually being played? Well, it's not on some piece of cardboard you pull out of a box. It's played on what we can call the inner board, that huge, vast landscape inside our own consciousness.
See, inside every single one of us, there are these two worlds existing at the exact same time. You've got the mind above, that's where clarity and conscious choice live. And then you have the mind below, which is all about instinct, reaction, and that raw, self-serving desire. And the tension between these two, it's not a flaw, it's not something to get rid of, it's actually our greatest teacher.
But here's something you've absolutely got to get. This journey is never a straight line up. No way. It's a spiral. We rise, we fall, and we rest. And that fall, that slide down the snake, that is not failure. It's a totally necessary part of the whole process.
Which brings us to the rules of the game, the rules of Ascent. Because if this is a game, well then it must have a strategy, right? This isn't about luck at all. It's about learning how to play consciously.
So, the core mechanic, the number one rule of this inner game, is choice. Every single action, every thought, even every little reaction, it's a move on the board. It's a decision that's either aligning you with that higher mind above or, you guessed it, pulling you down into the mind below. Every choice we make literally defines our direction.
Okay, so if choice is the move, then how do we make better moves? The answer is presence. You know that tiny little gap? The space between something happening and how we react to it? That pause? That's everything. That's what gives us the power to choose consciously, to find the ladder instead of just instinctively sliding down the next snake. And this is one of the most powerful ideas in this entire metaphor. The snakes, our setbacks, our failures, the things we beat ourselves up about, they are not punishments, they are initiations. Think about that. They are the very moments that teach us balance and actually prepare us to climb higher next time, but with more stability. Which leads us perfectly to the serpent's lesson. We're so used to seeing the snake as the bad guy, the villain of the story. But its role is so much more complex, so much more interesting. It actually holds the key to shifting from a life that's purely ego-driven to one that is led by our true essence.
See, the serpent isn't evil. It's just energy, pure energy. It's that raw, primal desire inside all of us to get, to have, to achieve. Now, if you just leave that energy unrefined, yeah, it can be self-serving and pretty chaotic. But when you learn to consciously direct it, that very same energy becomes this incredible force for creation, for change. It becomes truly life-giving.
It's almost like, by tempting us, the serpent forces us to be present. It puts us on the spot and asks us that fundamental question. What are you going to do with all this power, with all this desire? Are you going to use it just to serve yourself? Or are you going to use it to create connection, to build meaning, and to contribute something more?
And this is where our whole relationship with the ego can totally transform. Look, the goal isn't to destroy the ego. It's to align it. An unaligned ego, it acts like an enemy, right? It's all about raw impulse. But an aligned ego, wow, it becomes the engineer. It's the part of you that takes the vision from your higher self and actually knows how to build it in the real world. It starts serving your deepest purpose, not just its own needs.
So as we get closer to the end of the board here, it becomes pretty clear that winning isn't really the point, is it? Alignment, it's not some final destination you arrive at. It's a rhythm. It's a dance. This is the rhythm of becoming.
In this rhythm, it kind of unfolds in three beautiful phases. To ascend, to climb the ladder, is to integrate everything we've learned into who we are. To fall, to slide down the snake, is our chance to remember our purpose, especially when we've lost our way. And then, to rise again. That's when we embody that new wisdom, making our next climb so much stronger, so much more stable.
So in the end, you have to realize this game isn't just happening to you. You are the player, and you're also the designer of the board. We are each building our own ladder, one rung at a time, through self-awareness, through the courage to face what is, and maybe most importantly, by surrendering to the whole beautiful process.
And so this ancient game leaves us with a very modern, very personal invitation. Now that you know, now that you see that every choice is a move on the board, and every setback is an initiation, the only real question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. How are you going to play your next move?